Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
We're going on the record. The time is 8:56 a.m. Today's date is November 17th. This is media unit number 1 of the video recorded deposition of Matt Chason. This is taken in the matter of Deborah Keither versus Milwaukee Public Schools. This case is filed in the state of Wisconsin, Department of Workforce Development, Equal Rights Division, case number CR 2021-00861. Our deposition is being held at Cross Law Firm, located at 845 North 11th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My name is Mike DeGell, and I am recording the video for today's deposition. At this time, I'll ask the counsel to state their name, appearance, affiliation for the record. Then the court reporter will swear in the witness.
Savian Grinnell from Belo, Feder, Bucama, Olson, and Felite on behalf of Matt Chason, third-party witness.
Attorney Ryan Maloney of Von Briesen and Roper appears on behalf of the respondent in this case. Go ahead.
Great. Ben Hitchcock Cross appearing with and for the complainant, Deborah Keither.
And before we get started, I just want to put 2 objections on the record.
Please.
For you. First, we object to the videographer to the extent that that is not the official transcript. We reserve the right to object to that and preserve any objections with regard to the official transcript, namely that the official transcript is a stenographic transcript we have here today. Second, we object to this deposition because it is being taken after the close of discovery. Respondent is objecting because complainant has taken the position that respondent is unable to depose Deborah Keither because discovery is closed. That is despite the fact that on 2 separate occasions respondent asked for dates to depose Dr. Keither. Both of those requests were made prior to the close of discovery. Also, Attorney Hitchcock Cross had provide dates for the deposition of Dr. Keither prior to the close of discovery, but never did so. As such, if respondent is precluded from deposing Dr. Keither despite its 2 requests to do so prior to the close of discovery, then complainant should similarly be precluded from taking this deposition after the close of discovery.
Great. Anything else? Anyone? Okay. Mr. Chason, are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Can you just say and spell your name for the record, please?
Matt Chason, Chason, 2 T's for Matt.
And do you work for MPS?
Yes, I do.
In what capacity?
My title is the Senior Director of the Office of Accountability and Efficiency.
And what is the Office of Accountability and Efficiency?
It is a separate arm of governance underneath the School Board of Directors.
Okay, and so are you separate from management?
Yes, I'm separate from both the Office of Board Governance and from the administration of the superintendent.
Okay, so you are not directly supervised by the board, is that correct?
I report directly to the board, but I do not report to the superintendent.
Okay, and are you managed by anybody?
By the board.
Okay, and is that collectively or singly?
It would be as the body.
Okay, so it's fair to say that the board issues you instructions from time to time that then you are charged with following, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And do individual board members ever give you responsibilities?
They can make asks to do so, yes.
And are you required to follow those instructions?
Under policy, I can refuse, at which time they could take an affirmative vote to direct our office to take whatever action.
Okay. And how often do individual board members give you directions?
Objective form vague at the time.
It sort of does peaks and valleys. It can be several a month, depending. And sometimes we'll go through laws where we don't get any specific asks from board members. Okay.
How long have you been in charge of the Office of Accountability?
I believe I have held this title since the middle of 2019.
Middle of 2019. So it's fair to say that you've held this for approximately 3 years?
Approximately 3 years.
Okay. So in those 3 years, how often per year has it happened that individual board members give you directives?
Ballpark, probably at least a dozen a year.
Okay. And are those coming from the president of the board or other members?
It can come from any board member, president or otherwise.
Okay. In Dr. Keither's case, did the board direct you to do anything?
The board did not direct me to do anything.
Did any individual board members ask you to do anything with regard to Dr. Keither?
No board member asked me to do anything specific with Dr. Keither.
Okay. Do you know Dr. Keither?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Dr. Keither?
Dr. Keither is an employee of Milwaukee Public Schools.
Okay. Did she have any relationship with you in your capacity as head of the Office of Accountability?
Yes, she did.
When did that first occur?
The first, I think, interaction we had was, I forget the exact date. I believe it would have been November of 2019. She had approached me with concerns about the appointment of Dr. Holliday.
Okay, and at that time, was it just her approaching you? As far as you understood, was she coming to you with a complaint on her own behalf or on the behalf of others?
It was on or around that time that Ms. Keither appeared. There were other individuals who also appeared with a similar concern.
Okay, and what do you mean by appeared?
They came to my office and asked to see me.
In person?
Correct.
Okay. And where's your office located?
It's on the second floor of the Central Service Building on 52nd and Lake.
Where's the superintendent's office located, if you know?
That would be the northwest wing of that building.
What floor?
The second floor.
Okay. About how far are you from the superintendent's office, physically?
That's a long hallway. 70, 80 yards.
Okay. So, it would take about a minute for you to walk from your office to the superintendent's office. Does that sound right?
That could be.
Okay. Is there a direct line of sight from the superintendent's office to your office?
I don't believe there's a direct line of sight.
Okay. Have you ever asked employees who come to your office to come through some secondary entrances?
I've advised them that if they're uncomfortable, especially leaving my office or approaching the office with other people in the hallway, that I'm happy to either have them wait until the people who are either standing in the hallway or walking the hallway to exit, so that it doesn't invite additional sort of, hey, I saw this person in the OAE, and I've advised them too that when I'm expecting them, I'll do everything I can to make sure I can receive them at the door to let them come in without standing and waiting out there or knocking on the door.
If you know, why would an MPS employee be concerned about being seen to go to your office?
Took the form of question called speculation.
They would be concerned that their appearance at my office would bring scrutiny to them in terms of whatever their concern is or about whomever their concern might be about.
Have MPS employees generally told you directly of those concerns?
Employees have shared their concerns with me, yes.
About the fear of being seen to come into your office?
Yes.
Okay. Has Debbie Keither expressed those concerns to you?
I don't recall, and only because most of our interaction subsequent to that date was electronic.
Okay.
Only because there was the pandemic.
So, how did you meet with her other than in November of 2019?
I don't believe in person.
Okay.
But certainly through electronic methods, phone and otherwise.
Okay. And you had extensive communications with her after November of 2019, correct?
Yes. I believe our probably next touch point would have been November of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And subsequent to that date, I think we had whatever extensive conversations.
Okay, and what between November of 19 and November of 2020, what communications, if any, did you have with Dr. Keither?
I don't recall any.
Okay, so it's fair to say that in November of 2019, she came to you with concerns about Dr. Holliday, and what were those concerns?
I think a base. I'm trying to make sure I disaggregate Dr. Keither's concern from the others who had appeared that day.
Okay.
But generally, I can safely say the concern was that it was a bad fit for either management style, leadership style, and or other, I think just the workplace in terms of uncomfortableness in the space concerns.
Okay, is this about Dr. Holliday or somebody else?
It was about Dr. Holliday.
Okay. And only about Dr. Holliday?
I only remember Dr. Holliday.
Okay. And you said that other people appeared at your office on that same day, in fact. Is that right?
If not the same day, in days preceding or very shortly thereafter.
Okay, and about how many people appeared?
I think no more than 4.
Okay. So 4 is a fair number?
I think so.
Okay, who appeared?
I only specifically remember Dr.
Hold on a
Keith.
second, hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
Before you say that, I'm going to object to the extent that he's asking for confidential information for other individuals who came to his office, and to the extent that those individuals' confidentiality concerns are at issue here, and I would advise to be cautious about divulging information about confidential information about third parties who are not present here today, not involved in this lawsuit, and who have not waived any confidentiality they may have.
So you can make objections all you want, but you can't make speaking objections. And so, for example, there, not only did you make a speaking objection, but you also gave him legal advice. You said it very quite clearly that I advise that this is confidential. You are not in a position, you are not appearing here today as his attorney. You are not, you're just giving legal advice, and you're just, what you're doing here, besides being improper and making improper speaking objections, is you're laying bare the fact that you are, in fact, working with Mr. Chason and representing him. So
I absolutely did not say that I represent him. I absolutely did not state that I am working with Mr. Chason. I'm simply stating that there are third parties' interests at play here, and they have privacy interests, and they have not, to my knowledge, they have not waived any privacy interests. And to the extent that just divulging their confidential information is a violation of their privacy interests, I'm making a record of that.
great, you need to stop making speaking objections.
All right, Ben, I'll make the objections I need to, and we can address them as need be.
Okay. Can you read out the
thank
last
you.
question, please?
Okay, there, it was answered. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, and you said that other people appeared at your office on the same day. In fact, is that right? Answer, if not the same day, in days preceding or very shortly thereafter. Question, and about how many people appeared? I think no more than 4. Question, so 4, fair number. Answer, I think so. Question, who appeared? Answer, I only specifically remember Dr. Keither. And then dashes.
I only specifically remember Dr. Keither and Rochelle Sandrin.
Okay.
I do think more than those 2 individuals that appeared, but I don't recall. I don't recall who those other individuals were.
At least 2 others.
I believe so.
Okay. And Dr. Keither is also known as Whistleblower B. Is that right?
In a presentation that I gave to the board, I actually I opaqued or masked her identity actually as Whistleblower A.
Okay. And Rochelle Sandrin, she would be Whistleblower B in that same report. Is that correct?
I believe yes. Yes, that's my recollection. I'm not sure.
Okay. Why did you mask their identities? Why did you at least mask Dr. Keither's identity and possibly Rochelle Sandrin's identity in this report?
The intent was to keep their confidentiality and anonymity for as long as I could through the process.
And from who?
Really from anybody other than myself.
Okay. Does that include the board?
Yes, it does.
Does that include Superintendent Posley?
Yes.
Does that include Dr. Holliday?
Yes.
Okay, why?
I believe that's my policy obligation under the whistleblower policy, is to maintain that to the greatest extent possible, or at least that's how I've interpreted and implemented that policy.
Okay. So focusing on that policy for a moment, is your office, put it another way, your office doesn't just receive direct managerial control, correct?
Check the form of question.
There's nobody other than you in charge of your office. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, I report to the board, but yes, otherwise I manage the office. That is correct.
Okay. And then you are guided by policies, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And who draws up these policies?
Objective Foundation.
The policies are approved and codified by the board.
Okay. Who interprets the policies?
Check the form of question.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sure. The policies.
Did you say who interprets? I'm
Yes. Is there any time that there is a question in your mind about the meaning of a particular policy?
Sorry. Can you say that question again?
Is there any time that there is a question in your mind about the meaning of a particular policy?
Oh, only in so much as I, wanting to make sure that whatever the implementation is true to the letter and intent of it.